Action, platforming, hot chicks, and adult content. What more could you ask for in a game? Well, a lot actually. How's it going, guys? Zerodomai Kitsune here, and today we have an Eroge double feature. Yes, a little while back I got donated these two titles from DL Site thanks to Discord member Looted Wolf, and I thought it was about time to take a whack at them. So starting with Soul of Phantasm, a beat 'em up title by Circle Ultra Mambo, and oh boy, how much did this cost? 17 bucks? Yeah, even before playing this one, the process of just getting it to work was less than optimal. It has user authentication, aka DRM, that claims to not work with virtual machines, remote desktops, and sometimes virus protection software. It also has an official DL Site translation and a file size of a whopping 3.26 gigabytes. Now, why am I telling you all these things? Well, aside from general product information, this game kinda sucks. And with all this stuff behind it, I was expecting some next level shit. The story starts with some sort of out of body experience. Pretty sure I can't show it here even though the character has the anatomy of a ready for TV anime from the 90s. There's some voice dialogue and text with your main character seeing and hearing glimpses of people talking to her before the game doesn't start because there's still more text. As far as gameplay goes, the character has access to one basic combo, a dash attack, and a jump attack. You also have a charge skill that starts out as a basic dash kick, but can be switched out with other abilities like throwing grenades, but neither of them are that interesting. My main problem comes from the basic combo. Many beat 'em ups do have a basic string, but this one just feels so slow and unexciting, with no options to guard or jump cancel to make mashing the attack button more exciting. And the hit detection is horrid, to the point that I'm getting damaged by explosions that are no longer on the screen. On the bright side, the stages are large and require traversing to find tools and charge skills you use to unlock more areas, but again, you have to run forward to run downward. Now of course the more adult elements would be the driving force of this game, and without going into too much detail, I say it doesn't save the game. Not only because the fighting is that subpar, but also the content is just meh. You have the standard package here, knockdowns, clothing damage, background events, and game over screens, but despite me testing it by dying to a variety of enemies, I kept seeing the same game over scene. And that's without factoring in that I'm just not digging the graphics in general. If there's anything positive I could say after about an hour of play, I would say that the first boss fight that I ran into did have a decent idea. Instead of simply being an enemy with the HP stat cranked up, she fought with two floating weapons that protected her from all damage, making you have to wait for her to throw them at you before dodging and going in for some hits. Not a bad idea, but nothing particularly amazing. Yeah, this is the opposite of cash money, and I don't think it's really worth further discussion, so we are just gonna mosey on over to... Now that's what I'm talking about! Here we have Summon of Asmodeus, I hope I got that right, by Circle Pink Peach, and while still rough around the edges, it's like night and day compared to the last title. Normally I wouldn't be pitting two titles up against each other, but for context's sake, I got these at the same time, and at a glance I assumed this would be the lesser title, what with it both being significantly smaller in size and lacking in any form of DRM. But you know what they say about assumptions. The game starts out with a dream sequence introducing the succubus character who walks you through the basics before dropping you into the first stage. Going through this stage, I found that the character's animations and sounds were okay, not the best but good enough for a small game. Plus, the animated UI in the corner is a nice touch. But the important part is the combat. Here the game is okay, a standard 3-hit sword combo and a rather wimpy gun, but there are a few cracks in the execution. First of all, the gun is, again, pretty wimpy feeling. You can charge it, but there's this weird lag between holding down the button and the game actually deciding to charge the shot. Another weird thing was the sword combo. Now, the swings themselves are about as nice as the game's animations can get, but While you can jump cancel the combo at any point, there's this weird moment upon landing where only shooting can cancel the animation, making the player feel stuck after jumping, leading to taking unfair hits. Just like the previous game, I got about an hour of gameplay in it, and it was mostly enjoyable, a little bit buggy from time to time, but fun. Now in regards to the quote-unquote fun stuff, it was again mostly what you would expect: clothing damage, captured maidens that you can save for power-ups, game over scenes, and a slight twist on the traditional knockdown system. Here, when you mash keys to break out of them, it actually speeds up and completes the animation instead of simply ending it. Something I'm surprised I haven't seen in more of these titles. But that was pretty much all in terms of age content. There were 2 boss fights I was able to get through during my time, and while being rather simple and uneventful, they still felt like bosses with unique attack patterns. Overall, this is the better of the 2 games, still rough around the edges, and a bit sleep-inducing to be honest with all of its somber music, but it does show some potential for the devs. This was also $17, and for that price there are plenty of regular games that will give you the same if not more fun for less, meaning this is leaning heavily on the H-tax as I'm going to put it now. But for a first impression, this does make me want to soldier on through and see just what the devs did further into the game. To put it bluntly overall, Summon of Asmodeus, yay. Soul of Phantasm, nay. I don't like saying bad things about a game, but Phantasm really set itself up with everything leading me to think it would be a professional product. Summon on the other hand felt indie and rough, but still worth something. I'm going to try to complete and add it to the backlog of reviews to be uploaded somewhere, but for now this video will have to do. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the spotlight, check out the links in the description below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace!